This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and the lock I have for you today is an ASSA Desmo oval cylinder. This is the second Desmo that I've picked on this channel. The first was in video 141, and that was a 6-slider lock. And ever since that time, I've been looking for the 8-slider variant, and I was unable to find it until Zombie Lock sent me this out of his collection. So Zombie Lock, thank you very much for sending this my way. As I started picking this lock, I noticed something a little bit unusual. Despite the fact that this is an 8-slider lock, there was only 6 sliders in there. I don't know why that is. It's possible it's an attempt at master keying, but I wanted to pick the full 8-slider version. So what I did was took my lock apart, took 2 of the sliders out, put them in this lock, so we do have the full complement of sliders for this pick. For those of you who are not familiar with this lock, it is a pure slider sidebar design with essentially a mirror image construction between the left and right side. On the left side there are 4 sliders, each with 2 false gates and 1 true gate, and into those true gates falls a sidebar that's right on the left side. The right side is a mirror image of that. We pick those sliders much like we pick any other slider, and that is simply to look for the one that is binding. When we do find one, we move it a tiny, tiny little bit, and we keep doing that until we get a little bit of play in the slider. And once we feel that little bit of movement, we leave it alone, probably because that tiny bit of movement translates into the slider and the sidebar being engaged in the true gate. So let's see what we can do to pick into this lock. I'm using top of the keyway tension with a 32 thousandths pry bar, and then I'm going to use this Sparrow's hook. It's just a standard 25 thousandths hook. I'm going to be using much like a dimple pick by rotating it, or if the slider is really high, I can put it on its edge and use it like a normal pick. Okay, let's get started. On the left side, 1's loose, 2's loose, 3's loose, 4's loose. Okay, nothing there. Let's go to the right side. 1's loose. Okay, 2 is binding. Got to click there, still binding. Okay, I think we've got 2 where we want them. Okay, 3. Got a little click out of him, and definitely have some movement now. And nothing on 4, back to 1. Okay, 1's, well, it has some movement now. I'm going to leave him alone because he's not quite binding. Over to the left side. Okay, 1 is really not binding. Nothing on 2. Little click out of 3. But not really binding, so I'm leaving him alone. Let's go back to the right side. Something must be holding us up there. 1 has some play, so does 2. And 3. 3 might be what's holding us up. Okay, 3 definitely have some movement on him now. And 4 got a click out of him. Let's see if that helped on the left side situation at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not really feeling those left sides binding like they should be. Okay, 1 I can see, it's definitely moving. Same for 2. Okay, 3 might be the culprit. Okay, got a nice click out of him, and I felt some movement on the core. Let's check out this left side again. 2, 3. Okay, some movement there. Back to 1. 1 might be too high. Okay, definitely have some movement on him now. 2. 2's another one that might be too high. Okay, moved him Okay, 1 and 2 both feel set now. So does 3 and 4. Back to the right side, 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set. Okay, I am not sure what is holding us up now. Just going to bounce around here looking for binding pins, or binding sliders, I should say. And there we go. Number 1 on the left side was overset. Okay, so definitely a tricky pick. There's no one, I think, who would call a lock like that easy, but we did manage to get inside. I've already taken the clip off the back, so let's take this out. I will press the sidebars in to keep any of the sliders from falling out. And let's take this lock apart. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is drop the sidebars out. And then we will remove this little ring and start pulling the sliders out. There's really nothing to say about these sliders. They're all essentially identical with 3 gates, 2 false and 1 true. The false gates are pretty deep, which does make picking considerably harder, and the edges of the gates are pretty sharp, which also makes picking more difficult. Okay, let's give you a close-up of all of this now. Okay, looking at those sliders, you can see the false gates and the true gates on each slider that I was talking about. Then up at the top we have our 2 sidebars. You can see the little ledge on it that is facing toward the sliders, and that is what engages in the true gates. And those little pins that you see in between the sliders and sidebars are part of the spring mechanism that actuates the sidebar. Moving over to the core, you can see the cutouts for our 8 sliders. There's some drill protection in front of them. And then here is our right side sidebar and the sidebar spring. There's the top of the drill protection. And there's our left side sidebar slot and the spring for that as well. So that's all I have for you on this ASSA Desmo oval cylinder. Zombie Lock, thank you again for sending this my way. To everyone else, if you have any questions or comments about this lock, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you.